Hello again. Welcome to Grow to Glow. I am Dr. Thashna Walsh, and today I am coming to you from, well, from the UK with it's not a question, it's a statement that somebody shared on social media, and I just wanted to address it from my perspective. It was I hate when people say universe instead of God. Now, why I felt I needed to address this is because as I was growing up, I grew up in the church. You know, my dad was a bishop. My the woman I lived with, my aunt, an evangelist, and just about every member of my family have some sort of evangelical pastoral or bishop. My grandparents were bishops. Um, so I grew up in religion, okay, in a big way. And and whilst I was growing up, I observed a lot of things because being a child who was really quiet, didn't say a lot because I was too shy and withdrawn. I had the opportunity to observe people and their behaviors, and um, and what I realized was, and which broke my heart, was like God. Well, the earliest part of my life, God was always angry with us. God was only happy with us when we did everything right, when we were free from sin, and um, and I grew up to the point where, as a teenager, thinking it's impossible to please God because as human beings we have so many things we want to explore, and we have so many issues that we get bombarded by, and then we have to express ourselves in a specific way so that God is always pleased with us. And I found it's almost sort of impossible, because when something is being bombarded, you're not sure how to deal with your emotions. Nobody taught you about emotional intelligence, well, back then it was difficult. And then when you saw the way people were behaving within the religious sector, within the church, there was a lot of backbiting, there was a lot of malice, there was a lot of good things as well. But then I used to pick up on a lot of the heaviness within the church. Um, and so as I grew up, I started believing that, not that there wasn't any God, I knew there was a God, but I just thinking the God that they're believing in, I'm not sure that is how it really works. I stopped kind of believing in the church, let's put it that way. And as I got older and started coming back into learning about myself, there was a part of me that just didn't even want to talk about God, because it kind of brought me back to those negative feelings of being in the church and all the negative experiences that I had based on people who were meant to be our leaders, and what they were, they weren't leading by example. Not all of them, some of them were. But the God kind of rubbed me up the wrong way for a while, to be honest. And so I delved into a world of spirituality, and the universe was what people talked about a lot. And I was thinking, okay, I can handle that, because they're still talking about God, but without saying God, because I don't want to be involved in the religiosity of what God represents. Because simultaneously, when I was growing up, I met this little old lady that lived next door to my aunt, who basically took me in, and she taught me a completely different angle to who God was. And even though she taught me that, I never really got back into that way, those teachings, until I was much older. And she taught me that God is love, God is pure love, God is nothing but love. God is everywhere and everything, and God is love. And oh my gosh, I used to feel so much comfort in that, because that's what I felt God was. God is not just somebody's gonna sing you because what you wear a short skirt, or your toes are out of your shoes, or or your sleeves are too short, or you're straightening your hair, or you're wearing makeup, and just all those kind of crazy religious things that I just, I was born to be free. It's for me. I've got this spirit inside of me that just want to be free. If I could run naked without being arrested, I probably would. I was one of those people. But it was beating inside of me, beaten and beaten. I mean, physically beaten to shut up, to be quiet, to sit down, to stop jumping around, to stop climbing on things, to stop doing that, until it kind of dampened my spirit as a child. And all of those limitations are things that I've been growing through and releasing, recognizing that that's not me, that's not me, that's somebody just beating that inside of my subconscious to tell me who I am supposed to be. And this is one of the reasons why I put the word God to one side, but not God himself, just the word, the description, and embraced universe. And I know a lot of people that I have actually spoken to, when you say God to them, they go, why? Because they've had a bad experience within the church. My daughter is one of them. She sent her to Sunday school every Sunday. And then things happen within the church with her and some of the grown-ups there. And again, my daughter is very outspoken because that's how I raised her, to speak her mind, but with respect. But again, people in some of the churches just want to tell you how you should think, how you should speak, and what you should say and what you shouldn't say. So therefore, you can't express yourself. So she just decided, I ain't going back to church. As soon as she was old enough for me to tell her that, for me, where I wasn't able to say, you have to go to church, and she just stopped. And now when I talk to her now, it's the same thing. And I understand. So universe versus God, at the end of the day, it depends on what your heart is. Okay. God's name, what's God's name? I am. Okay. We call him God. Okay. So God is a spirit, the spirit that dwells inside every one of us. Okay. So if you want to express God as Jesus, as Buddha, as yourself, as the universe, as the source, as the force, whatever you call God is, because God is only listening to your heart. It's not the words, it's the heart. And what the impact the words have on your heart is completely important. So in my opinion, if you don't want to use the word God until you're absolutely ready, I'm completely cool with it now. But there was a time when it was just offensive to me because of the experiences that I had. And that's why so many people as well shun religion, because people are trying to stuff ideas into their head how they should be, and they're not listening to the heart of the people. So in my opinion, universe, God, they're all the same. Okay? Because it's the same description. It's the I am, it's the force, it's the source, it's that energy that creates and lives in everything that's good, that's bad. It's everything. It's created it all. Okay? That is God. That is also the universe. But if you want to look at it limitedly, like the universe is this expanse of everlastingness, I just made that word up. If you want to look at that, then God is also that. Okay? Let's not be nitpicking. Let's listen to the heart. Let's listen to people's hearts. This is how we bring people to Christ. This is how we bring people to God. This is how we bring people back home to themselves, is by listening to their hearts, feeding them the goodness, the sweetness, the joy, and the love that we all are searching for. Stop picking on people because of what they call things, how they describe things. God is love. The universe is love. Source is love. I am love. You are love. But if you want to keep talking about the limitations, the little things that don't matter, they're going to add up, and they're going to keep you separated from the love. They're going to keep you separated from the love. Okay, I know it says in the Bible, you cannot be separated from the love of God, and that's because God, you cannot separate yourself from God, but you can stop the love flowing for you. because God is there. You can't get rid of him. It's just there. Universe, whatever you call it, it's there. It's inside. Can't get rid of it. You're here. You're creation. Yeah. So if you want to live in joy, then you allow the joy, which means allowing the God force to flow through you. But if you want to live in misery, you want to live in blame and shame and picking on people, then you could do that, which basically dampens your energy, dampens your power, dampens your glory. Okay. So I just felt I needed to put that into perspective, where myself and people who can relate to me are concerned. I know there are going to be people out there who disagree, and that's okay. We're all here on our journey. I'm not expecting everybody to agree with me, but I just wanted to make a point that it's okay. People can do whatever the heck they want. They're not hurting anyone. Okay. God is love. And as long as we're bringing the love and letting the love flow, what else matters? Because God is in all of it. Anyway, I'm done with my ranting. Thank you for staying tuned. And remember, there is a coaching program going on right now, and you can still join because it's one-to-one. So I think I still have the capacity to take on more people. So, and I'll let you know when that stops. And yeah, join us. It's called the Ascension Pathway, Grow to Glow Ascension Pathway. And it is pretty deep and intense way of really getting rid of all the limitations, all the things that you are going through life right now that's holding you stuck where you are, because you're meant to shine. You're meant to be bold and confident and just be out in the world, just doing exactly what it is that your heart is driving you to do without fear, just dropping the fear and letting that go. And we teach you basically how to take away those limitations, just take them away, just let them go and start flying, start being the beautiful human being that you're meant to be. So we're taking you out of the 3D way of living into the 5 dimension, the fourth and the fifth dimension. So therefore you can live a really great and vibrant life, yet being a three-dimensional being at the same time. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in that, allow me to guide you. Please have a look at the information from the link down below and book an ignition call with me, which is going to be an hour long. And we're going to talk a little bit about you, what you're looking for, what we can do for you. And we share a little bit more about how intense and what's really inside the coaching program, so that once you understand what's in there, you're going to want it. You're going to want it. So book an ignition call with me and so we can have a chat. All right. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, every week I share something. So whether I'm answering a question or I am sharing something that's on my heart, yeah, I'm sharing something that I feel that everyone could benefit from in some way. I'm an uplifter. I love to lift people up. I like to steer people in the direction that I feel that is going to be beneficial for us, because we're all on the journey. We're all on the journey and we all want freedom. So it's all about the freedom to be, freedom to do, and freedom to completely express ourselves and live a really fulfilling life. So thank you. And also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have a comment, something you agree with or disagree with, you just want to banter, or you want to ask a question, please put that in the comment section. I'd happily like to hear from you and to discuss things with you further. Thank you again for staying tuned and sending you a lots and lots of love. Lots of love. Till next time.